Welcome back inside the Klotche Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and day one coverage of the 20th running of the Panther Invitational. Our third of 6 matches over these next couple of days is a battle of the Wildcats as the University of New Hampshire out of the America East Conference meets Northwestern out of the Big Ten. Hello, welcome to our game broadcast on the Black and Gold Network. My name is Matt Menzel. Both of these teams off to 1-0 starts, earlier match victories to start their 2018 seasons. Northwestern knocking off South Dakota 3-1, taking set 1 25-16. They dropped the second set 25-20 before bouncing back and winning sets 3 and 4 25-20, 25-20, and hitting 181 for the matchup. 3 players in double figures in kills, paced by the play of Aubriana Cannon, who came through with 16 kills, followed by a 13-kill performance for Nia Robinson. New Hampshire coming off a victory against host Milwaukee, also 3-1, dropping the first set 25-22, yet bouncing back and winning a convincing second set 25-12, scoring the last 8 points of that set, and then taking sets 3 and 4, 25-21 and 25-18. And for the New Hampshire Wildcats, they were paced by the play of Gabri Ohava, who came through with a career best of 18 kills, also a career best of 47 assists for Emma Patlovich, and then a career best of 28 digs for Emily Tansky, who, by the way, will be sporting jersey 21 in the highlighter yellow colored jersey. That for New Hampshire. You see the Northwestern Wildcats, and again, they will start Sarah Johnson as the libero. We have not seen, at least in the first couple matchups here on day one, we have not seen Lexi Pitsis, who is a sophomore. She was the libero last year. She started the first couple matches as a defensive specialist, eventually made that change to a libero, but in turn it has been Sarah Johnson who's getting the start as the libero in these first couple of matchups of this young season. Now for Northwestern, able to win their season opener for a 5th consecutive season, so off to a 1-0 start. Got off to a great start last year, 2 in non-conference play before things went south in Big Ten competition. But again, Northwestern, as we mentioned earlier in the day, a younger squad, not a single senior on their active roster. They do bring back 11 letter winners, but overall it's a roster of 11 of underclass status. You see Shane Davis, the 3rd-year head coach in Northwestern volleyball history. 3rd year as the 6th head coach for the program that dates back to 1976. He was an outstanding player during his men's career at Loyola. He played for the Ramblers from 2000 through 2003 and set school record for career assists and reached 2nd on the school leaderboard for career digs. A number of accolades came his direction before he eventually was the head coach of that Loyola men's volleyball program and now making the move across town to Evanston. And you saw shaking his hand was Jill Hershinger, the legendary head coach for New Hampshire, who comes in top 10 on the all-time active NCAA wins list. Over now in her career, 769 career W's, over 361 in her time with New Hampshire. She's in her 23rd year with the New Hampshire Wildcats, a 6-time America East Coach of the Year. And the Wildcats are 1-0 for a 2nd consecutive year, winning their opener last year for the first time since 2013. The issue last year, okay, they won their opener, but then lost 6 consecutive thereafter and found themselves off to a 2-9 start. Now they're trying to knock off Northwestern. This is the 2nd all-time meeting between these two programs. The first back in 2015, and the Northwestern Wildcats prevailed 3-0. Kiara McNulty, the team's new setter, will get things started here in set 1 of the best of 5 for Northwestern. They sport the black with the exception of their libero, Sarah Johnson, and we're underway here in set 1. McNulty on that right side. You saw Cannon, who was outstanding in the earlier matchup, and Northwestern's able to score first. Told you that Cannon had 16 kills, 7 attacking errors, 51 total attempts, a 176 hitting percentage, but she also added 5 digs and a couple of blocks among the 6-4 Northwestern. Patlovich, the lone setter. Earlier matchup against Milwaukee. Nia Robinson. Patlovich. Down the middle was swatted. That was Maddie Wiedenfeld. She was quite the presence down the middle for New Hampshire. Wiedenfeld, only a freshman at 6'2" from Omaha, Nebraska. For New Hampshire in their matchup against Milwaukee, she came through with 11 kills. Added a block solo plus 4 block assists. That was one of the areas of strength for New Hampshire, a total of 9 team blocks. McNulty to Robinson. Off the scramble, getting a piece of it to Tansky, but will come up empty otherwise. Great effort. And you see the highlighter yellow jersey that Tansky is wearing. She was wearing pink earlier, but now that New Hampshire's gone to the gray, the silver look here for this matchup. Wearing the yellow, but changing the number from number 9 to number 21 for this nightcap here for New Hampshire. Northwestern up 2-1. Trying to change that. Wiedenfeld. Cannon got around the block that was set up by the combo of Petke and Wiedenfeld. 3-1 Northwestern. Nia Robinson will serve, a Big Ten All-Freshman team selection last fall. The first Big Ten All-Freshman team selection for the Wildcats since 2011. Patlovich will set up Wiedenfeld. That's right now where New Hampshire is attempting to go. But a 4-hit violation will go against New Hampshire. Feeling that ball hit the top tape. It was not touched by one of the blockers for Northwestern. They were set up for that block. Never became a necessity. Northwestern with a total of 16 blocks in their match victory against South Dakota. And right now that's the question as to whether or not it was tipped at the net by a Northwestern Wildcat or not, or if that was simply off the top tape. And now the officials conversing after Emily Tansky came over and talked to the official on behalf of her coaching staff, a veteran staff, as we talked about on that sideline, again, with Jill Hershinger from nearby West Allis, Wisconsin, went to West Allis Central High School. 39th season as a head coach, a volleyball head coach, at either the Division I or Division II collegiate levels. And now apparently they will challenge the call. A reminder, with the NCAA challenge rules, each team gets 3 challenges. And again, whether you win the challenge, lose the challenge, does not affect you a lot of timeouts. But again, you see what is used, the challenge, what you can challenge, the ball being ruled in or out, ball contacting a player. In this case, that's the question. Did it contact the top tape? Was it tipped by a Northwestern player in front? Net fault by player, service, foot fault, and the 3-meter attack line foot fault. All reviewable plays with the new NCAA reviews. Now it's been implemented in some conferences and now across the board. It is something that comes into play, and so we've seen it a few times already, and it was in fact tipped by a Northwestern player according to the officials. So it was not off the top tape. It's not a 4-hit violation. And so the question now becomes, is that a do-over? Because now you're making the assumption, okay, it was tipped, but how do you punish Northwestern for that? It was not a dead ball situation. So I think they're just simply taking a point off the board for the Wildcats and call that a mulligan. It's going to be 3-1 Northwestern. You can't punish them. You can't give a point to New Hampshire because the rally never played itself out because the assumption was made that it was a 4-hit violation, so the ball never hit the ground. And in fact, New Hampshire will watch Northwestern will serve, and again, it's going to be Robinson beyond that service line. We have seen a handful of challenges already, and all but one has been reversed. Robinson, McNulty, out of the outside, and the finish. That for the Wildcats of Northwestern. That for Danielle Williams, a 6'1" sophomore from Chicago. Williams did not play in the earlier matchup against South Dakota. Played in 17 matchups last year. One of her bigger performances came against the Minnesota Golden Gophers in Big Ten play when she had 9 kills and 3 total blocks. Ended up averaging about 1.3 kills per set with 28 total blocks to her credit as well as a freshman. Now into the lineup will be Allie Lindroth, the junior from Plainfield, Illinois for Northwestern. See her in the back row, joining Johnson, joining Cannon. With Olivia Viscuso, part of the front row, along with McNulty and Williams. And now the New Hampshire serve for Logan Welty, the 5'10" junior outside hitter from Middleton, Wisconsin. McNulty to Cannon. Welty outside with Kennedy Smith. And she's been in that back row throughout the day so far, and a mistimed jump involving Viscuso. Northwestern against South Dakota at a total of 27 attacking errors. That's the most of any one of the 4 teams so far in the first 2 matchups, but 27 attacking errors, 56 kills, 160 total attempts. And still they had their head above water at 181 for that hitting percentage. And that was a big area of strength for Northwestern last year, at least by their program standards. Wiedenfeld, that was off of Lindroth, tracked down by Johnson, returned by Cannon. There he had Tansky with Kennedy Smith. Johnson out to Williams. And the point for Northwestern gives them a 5-3 lead. And early on, there's been but 1 attacking error between these 2 teams, and it belongs to Northwestern. Nice start here, and certainly you always have the butterflies, and I mean, if you're a competitor, that just comes with the territory. But it's got to feel a little bit better now for these 2. I mean, younger rosters in the case of Northwestern. New Hampshire, their experience, they have 14 to 16 players back from last year, but now you have a match under your belt. It's not an exhibition, it's not a scrimmage, an actual match that counts and counted now under your belt. And a little bit of a feel for how things may pan out, at least for this weekend's tournament. A little bit of a break, but right back in action for New Hampshire. Back-to-back matchups now. Kennedy Smith stays in bounds for the kill. Kennedy Smith, all ECAC second team last fall, on top of being a first team All-America East Conference honoree. She's part of the all-rookie team in 2016. Tansky, McNulty, out there is Alana Walker. Set return by Lindroth. See Patlovich, very good. The passing game earlier for New Hampshire. And Cannon with the attacking error. Mentioned that Patlovich, a 47 assist performance over the course of 4 sets against Milwaukee. Her previous career high had been 36 against another team out of the Horizon League in Green Bay last year. In tournament play from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Service ace. That served up for Emily Tansky. 11 service aces in 23 matchups last year for the junior from Plymouth, Michigan. A Miss Michigan volleyball finalist. Cannon. And Williams on the return. Patlovich coming near his side. That was blocked. Petke had it blocked. He had Walker and Cannon in front for Northwestern. It was blocked out, so New Hampshire currently on this 4-0 run. Walker. Return made by Gabri Olhava. Williams. Point here for Northwestern. And apparently it was tipped by a player from New Hampshire. Right now the New Hampshire coaching staff questioning the call, and over comes Emily Tansky once again. We've seen them make 1 challenge already. Might they challenge again? They have 3 in the matchup, but do you take that gamble this early on and trying to challenge twice in 1 set? When in reality, all that has happened now is, okay, you're tied. Now it's Northwestern up 8-7. So 8-7, those Wildcats. Northwestern on top of the other Wildcats from New Hampshire. Michelle Lee excelled beyond the service line, especially in set 1 for Northwestern against the South Dakota Coyotes. Score the point for Olhava. Just celebrated a birthday on the 9th of August. Olhava, besides the career best at 18 kills, only 1 attacking error at .531. That win against Milwaukee. Got her previous high for kills in a match, 17. Tied it last year in a match. She was the only Wildcat to play in all 102 sets. Cannon out of bounds. New Hampshire back up 9-8. Here's Hannah Petke. A second team all-conference selection last year after came on strong at the end of her freshman year, carried over. Commits a service error. 11 of those went against New Hampshire. Their matchup against Milwaukee. The difference, though, Milwaukee had 12. New Hampshire also had 6 service aces. Northwestern had 9 in their victory against South Dakota. So a couple of teams that, as far as service aces go, somewhat excel, but again, too many service errors for Coach Hirschinger's liking in that season opener. But with more repetition, I'd like to think that that will clean itself up. 10-9 New Hampshire. New Hampshire will sub in Molly Watton. Kennedy Smith. Last year she was number 4 in the team with a total of 26 service aces. The team as a whole had 170, average about 1.6 service aces per set. Hava had the return, will tip it now, and no recovery there. Trying to get out of the way did Kiara McNulty. The size paying Ohava an advantage. Listed at 6'1", able to tower over the netting and come through with the block, forcing a timeout for Northwestern. New Hampshire leads 11-9. We're in set 1 of the best of 5. It's match 3 of the 20th run of the Panther Invitational on the Black and Gold Network. Already 5 ties and 3 lead changes in this battle of the Wildcats. It's Northwestern and New Hampshire. This Friday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, covered to the 20th, running into the Panther Invitational. Each team will play one more matchup tomorrow before they will head back to their respective homes. New Hampshire will head back. They will fly out on Sunday and be back by noon. Just in time for these student athletes to prepare for their first day of school on Monday. Northwestern with a relatively short trip back to Evanston, Illinois following their matchup tomorrow versus host Milwaukee. Robinson out of the Northwestern timeout, delivers her second kill and now 4 attempts. Robinson has had an outstanding volleyball career. She's listed at 6'2" from Indianapolis, Indiana. Always worry sometimes about athletes that set the bar awfully high as freshmen, that sometimes a letdown, a sophomore slump as they call it. Robinson, though, is picking up where she left off, at least so far. Came out, and she really came on strong in helping Northwestern take away South Dakota's hopes of rallying in that first matchup. Ohava, that's going to be a service ace. Knocks Sarah Johnson off her feet. 13-10 New Hampshire. Their second service ace now. Other belongs to Emily Tansky. Robinson, before she could wind up, we have a double hit that's going to go against Northwestern. Now, Kiara McNulty looked good as Northwestern will take their second and final timeout. McNulty will keep it here in Milwaukee, but McNulty, she looked good in her first matchup as the setter, the first-year player for Northwestern in their victory against South Dakota. And again, she's got big shoes to fill after the Wildcats graduated. Taylor Tashima, number 4 in program history with 4,211 assists, had been the starting setter since 2014, her freshman year. Not the only player, though, the Wildcats graduated. And again, they're young. They lost, a number of seniors, 3 in all. They had 7 freshmen last year. This year, they have 6 freshmen, 7 sophomores, 4 juniors, not a single senior. Let's go back to 2013. They didn't have 0, but they only had 1 senior that year. Now they have none. But for Northwestern, you lose Tashima, who was an outstanding setter. Lost Simone Abbott, an outside hitter who is now playing professionally over in Italy. She was a first-team All-Big Ten honoree, first for Northwestern since 2013. She left the program number 4 with 1,616 career kills, but also lost a couple of others, including the middle blocker and Gabrielle Hazen, who, as far as blocks go, was number 1 in the team with 121, average of 1.12 blocks per set. So even though this is a team that, they're young, and yes, they bring back some with an extra year of experience, and those are 3 key spots you gotta replace. You gotta replace your top offensive threat. You have to replace your your facilitator, and you have to return, or replace in this case, one of your top defensive players, at least as far as the net goes, and when it comes to that blocking statistic. And so Northwestern trying to fill those voids. Expect to go through some growing pains along the way, but they feel good about what they have brought in these last couple of years. They had a class last year that they brought in that was ranked as the 22nd best by PrepVolleyball.com, and now this year's class of 2022 ranked 18th best by PrepVolleyball.com. They're still, again, new to the collegiate game and the speed of the collegiate game, but nonetheless, the potential is there. Right now, though, it's all New Hampshire. They have scored the last 5 points. They lead 16-10. New Hampshire knows what Northwestern's going through again this year after they were the team last year that only had a couple of seniors. Both have since graduated. They were awfully young. And now they're, again, a year older. And even though they still have 500 classmen, they have in all 12 upperclassmen, and they bring back 14 of 16 with real game experience. Much needed side out involving Robinson. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, it's to show you how much experience back New Hampshire has. They brought back their top 4 kill getters, both of their setters, although, again, we have not seen Molly Jerezek, who was warming up prior to this matchup and has been warming up. She's from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Wonder if she'll get an opportunity to play in her home state again at some point before this weekend is over. But right now it has been Patlovich's responsibility to run the offense. Brought back their top 7 servers, top 2 diggers, and their top 5 blockers. On the McNulty serve, coming across, Wiedenfeld. And the point goes to New Hampshire, up 17-12. Note that New Hampshire, as you see on the scoreboard, they have both their timeouts still intact. Northwestern out of timeouts. Patlovich, part of the America East All-Rookie team last fall. That got by Petke, caught by surprise in front along with Patlovich. 17-13 New Hampshire. Near Robinson. Off the top tape, and nice adjustment was made by Wiedenfeld, but then Patlovich caught coming across in front. Put herself at a tough angle, no recovery, and Northwestern's back to within 3. Right now, Northwestern hitting 185 for the match. New Hampshire, very impressive 400. Tipped in front. Do we have a net violation? We do, and it's against New Hampshire. Their lead has dwindled down to 2. Timeout here for Coach Hershinger, trying to slow the Northwestern momentum. Now in New Hampshire, told you they're coming off a year last year. 13 victories, 14 defeats. Tied for second in the America East with Binghamton, a team that they went 0-3 against, eventually lost to. That was a 2-3 seeded matchup. Binghamton was the better seed. It was a 3-0 decision in the tournament semis. Albany won first in the regular season, but then in the tournament itself, number 4 Stony Brook upset number 1 Albany in the semis 3-0, and then beat Binghamton in the championship 3-0 before losing to the eventual national champs Nebraska in the first round of the NCAA tournament 3-0. Stony Brook becoming the first number 4 seed to win the America East tournament, a tournament where only 4 teams qualify. Albany won a piece of, and has won a piece of 2 out of the last 3 regular season titles in the America East, and they're predicted to finish first again, but it's not a slam dunk. Look at the preseason poll, the coaches vote. As far as first place votes go, Albany got 3, New Hampshire got 2, Stony Brook got 2, Binghamton expected to be in the top 4 as well, and then you have UMBC, Hartford, and UMass Lowell, who finished in last the past 5 seasons, winless 2 of those 5 seasons. Albany, they have not won a tournament title despite their success in winning the regular season title 2 out of the last 3 years. They have not won a tournament title since 2011. Out of the timeout by New Hampshire, a service ace for Robinson. Robinson with 2 service aces in the first match. Now a 1-point lead. Northwestern has scored the last 4. Cannon tied at 17. 6th tie of the match, along with 3 lead changes. And New Hampshire looking for anything, any answer. Making a change here. For the first time this young season, Jenny Weston, a junior out of Canton, Massachusetts, will sub in. Played in 24 of 27 matches last year, 62 of 102 sets. Has a touch. Tap back and return by Wiedenfeld. Cannon. The block set up by Wiedenfeld and MKE. We have not seen a ton yet of Ohava. Only 1 kill, only 3 total attempts. See how much of a factor that ends up playing in the outcome of this match, because she took over against Milwaukee. No answer in trying to stop Ohava. Logan Welty is serving for New Hampshire. A libero on a trial basis to start her career before going to the outside. That touch there by Tansky. Johnson, McNulty over to Cannon, and again the block ready. Hannah MKE. Hannah MKE and Maddie Wiedenfeld right now. A nice 1-2 combo in front. Also now playing up top, Kennedy Smith. 19-17 New Hampshire responding after Northwestern able to mount the comeback. McNulty able to lay out, and return made by Cannon. There with Viscuso. Lindroth and Cannon from McNulty. Wiedenfeld, a little flick of the wrist. Johnson going outside with that return by Williams. We have not seen Ella Gerbach yet in this first set. We're seeing Williams right now. It's coming after Gerbach had 10 kills, a 121 hitting percentage in the matchup against South Dakota. Welty, McNulty on back with Williams. Run down by Tansky and a deep return all the way to Johnson. McNulty on that right side with Williams, dug out by Patlovich. Set return by Wiedenfeld. Again with Viscuso. And Northwestern gets the side out after going up 3 straight to New Hampshire. Walker is back in. And now we're going to see Amy Wang sub in. Wang played 2 out of a possible 4 sets against the Coyotes. Wang, from California but born in China. Patlovich, and across comes Wiedenfeld. That was off of Lindroth. And the point here for New Hampshire, up 21-18 here at set 1 of best of 5. Match 2 for each. Both coming in 1-0. Nightcap features Milwaukee and South Dakota. Both will be coming in 0-1. Tansky. Short serve, but nice pickup by Lindroth and a return by Cannon after the got set up by McNulty around Walker. Walker timed her jump, was trying to fake out Gabriel Hava, and then blocked by Walker. On that right side with Williams. Northwestern hanging tough, down 21-19, ball in the hands of Michelle Lee. Helped orchestrate a 6-0 run. They gave Northwestern a set 1 win against South Dakota, and there's Walker and Cannon this time combining to reject the return by New Hampshire. 21-20. And New Hampshire will take their final timeout. We'll take it with them. We're in set 1. New Hampshire on top of Northwestern, 21-20. It's match 3 of the Panther Invitational on the Black and Gold Network. Having scored 3 of the last 4, Northwestern's back to within 1 at 21-20 here in set 1. Women's College Volleyball on the Black and Gold Network is match number 3 of 4 here on day 1 of the 20th run into the Panther Invitational in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Michelle Lee on the jump serve for Northwestern. Smith, Johnson, McNulty, that's Walker. And Petke off Johnson, McNulty on the set. Here's Cannon. Smith trying to get out of the way, does. Patlovich got just enough flight, allowing the return by Watton. Walker leaving her feet, goes out of bounds. New Hampshire up 22-20. There's Hannah Petke. So far, New Hampshire with a couple of service aces, 1 service error. McNulty, Cannon. Patlovich. We saw that a couple of times in the past from New Hampshire where just when you think Patlovich is going up for the set, a little trickery and comes through with a kill. A couple of kills now for Patlovich going along with her 9 assists now. After that 47 assist match 1 performance. Walker blocked. Smith going up for New Hampshire. Walker again, this time more oomph over the wingspan of Smith. Johnson, McNulty, Cannon. Dug out by Tansky. Down the middle with Ohava. Ohava showing her force. New Hampshire is serving for set 1. Off the New Hampshire serve. Tip down, no. Nice save by Cannon. Walker pushed back by Smith. Johnson there, McNulty to Cannon on the windup. Tansky on the dig. Weston came over. Smith going to the back row. Johnson, McNulty. Here's Cannon. Right to Tansky. Patlovich taking a defensive approach as Walker got tangled up. Same thing with McNulty. And New Hampshire takes set number 1. 25-20. That's their first set victory in 4 tries all time against Northwestern. Set 2 comes your way next week. We continue with the 20th run of the Panther Invitational. You tuned in by the Black and Gold Network. New Hampshire scored the last 4 points in set one. They prevailed 25-20, and doing so by producing an attack percentage of .243. Only 4 errors the entire way, and Hannah Petke had 3 of those 4. But it was a balanced attack that would see 4 kills from Wiedenfeld, and then 2 kills apiece for Petke, Smith, Petlovich, and Olhava. Northwestern, 9 errors, 0.82 for an attack percentage. They have 5 kills from Danielle Williams in her first action of the season. 10 assists already for Patlovich, and then Diggs. 7 for Tansky for New Hampshire. 6 for Sarah Johnson, the libero for Northwestern. Wildcats had 3 blocks, 2 New Hampshire's 2. Entertaining first set that featured 6 ties and 3 lead changes. So Northwestern got off to a great start in their earlier matchup. Falter in set 2 before bouncing back in and playing well in sets 3 and 4. We'll see how they rebound here now, facing a 1-set deficit. New Hampshire just the opposite, where they lost the first set of their matchup against Milwaukee and then rallied to win 3 consecutive. So they won their last 4 consecutive sets so far this Panther Invitational. They can keep it going. Emma Patlovich starting set 2 off with a rainbow arcing serve. Patlovich then caught in a tough spot. Williams in front there for Northwestern. Now Nia Robinson beyond the service line. Serves in that first set. Couple of aces. 1 for McNulty, 1 for Robinson. Patlovich with Petke. McNulty. McNulty again, and going back and off of Smith. Note for Northwestern, they have brought in Hannah Lesiak for the first time. Lesiak did not play in the first matchup against South Dakota. First-year player from Frankfort, Illinois. Mother played volleyball at UIC. New Hampshire now on the board down 2-1. You expect to see that though in these non-conference tournaments, and we've talked about it in length throughout our broadcasts on this first day, that every coach will be the first to tell you that there is no rule that is set. You're still developing, because again, practice, scrimmages, exhibition tells you so much. Now when it's time to produce in real game situations, who'll step up? And who is able to take what they've learned or what they needed to work on in those scrimmages and then put those here in the game mode, game action. And if you're the Wildcats, with such a young team, Northwestern that is, such a young team, such endless possibilities as far as who may go where, and you have so much versatility. And right now, Coach Davis getting the opportunity to play a couple of players that, again, he did not see earlier, with Danielle Williams, and now giving Lesiak the opportunity here in this second set. Viscuso did play in the first matchup. Played in 10 matchups all of last year. Northwestern off to a 4-1 lead. I'd like to see this for Coach Davis, though, your team responding quickly. They were playing well down the stretch, got themselves back in that matchup in set 1, but New Hampshire was able to end strong. Wiedenfeld dug out, and that net play, Smith, with net violation here, is going to go against Danielle Williams. Emily Tansky making the transition this season from front row to the back. McNulty on the lineup by Williams. Olhava, Tansky, Johnson, McNulty, after Walker was calling for it. It was played by Williams. Now a point here for New Hampshire. 4-3 Northwestern. Great crowds on both sides here inside the Cloutry Center. We mentioned with New Hampshire, they have 10 states representing their 17-player roster, and a number from this state and surrounding states, with Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and Nebraska all up and down this New Hampshire roster. And of course, at Northwestern, nearby in Evanston. Number of players on this roster from the land of Lincoln, a couple of players from Indiana and Ohio, Michigan as well. Smith off the block, but McNulty was able to adjust. Lee goes outside with Lesiak. Lee again, Lesiak again. Patlovich to Smith. McNulty, Lesiak blocked, but kept alive by Walker. Tansky, returned by Welty, set up by McNulty, over with Lesiak, Tansky, Patlovich, Olhava, going cross court but out of bounds. That's her first attacking error in 7 swings. 6-3 Northwestern, battle of the Wildcats. And a couple of 1-0 teams to start. Lee, a service error. New Hampshire stays within 2. They have Olhava, Patlovich, Smith in front, Tansky in the back, with Welty and the server, Hannah Petke. McNulty, Smith, a test of strength, better angle for McNulty, who wins that battle at the net. In comes Robinson, replacing Lindroth. 7-4 Northwestern. Lesiak. Coach Davis calls her a dynamic, high-flying player who is also a high-level passer. 7-5 New Hampshire, back to within 2, and the New Hampshire Wildcats will sub Molly Watton in. Again, she's the only player on this roster that is from New Hampshire. Father played ice hockey, grandfather played baseball at University of New Hampshire. She's gone the volleyball route. As Olhava keeps it in to bring New Hampshire within 1. And Watton, a 2-time New Hampshire Gatorade Player of the Year, on top of being the New Hampshire Volleyball Coaches Association Division I Player of the Year in 2012. Helped her team win a Division I state championship, going 22-0. McNulty to Robinson. Over the reach of Smith. 8-6 Northwestern. Dropping back for the Northwestern Wildcats, Sarah Johnson was able to transition into the starting libero role mid-season in 2016. Again, Lexi Pitsis spending some time as the libero as well, but also as a defensive specialist last year. Haven't seen her yet for Northwestern in these first couple of matches. Score the point for Molly Watton. See if she takes on a bigger role as a senior among the 5 for New Hampshire. Injured in 2014, limited to 15 matches in 2015, 15 matches in 2016, and then again up to 26 last year as her role increased. Olhava along with her serve. Northwestern up 9-7. No ties nor lead changes so far in this second set. It's been Northwestern from the beginning. Patlovich with Wiedenfeld. With Watton, Wiedenfeld. Back row getting involved. Wiedenfeld, a second windup. Able to get more creative after Northwestern was all crashing in from that back row off her first attempt. Patlovich, McNulty, on back with Robinson. Nia Robinson, a former Indiana Gatorade Player of the Year, Indiana Volleyball Player of the Year, school record holder for kills. And that has translated into a great deal of success so far through 1 college season plus now 2 matches. Johnson with Williams, off Smith. 11-8 Northwestern. And Robinson looking to become an effective server this season as well. As Northwestern had replaced their top server and 3 out of their top 4 And again, we haven't seen Lexi Pitsis, who was top 5 in service aces. Timeout here for New Hampshire. Northwestern is up 12-8. They have scored 3 straight. New Hampshire's up 1-0 here in match 3 of the 20th running of the Panther Invitational. Northwestern's led throughout this second set thus far, up 12-8, having scored now the last 3, forcing a New Hampshire timeout. New Hampshire taking the first set 25-20, and right now Northwestern in this set alone hitting .429. New Hampshire at .235, but 7 kills with 3 attacking errors. Northwestern though getting Williams involved with 9 kills, followed by 5 for Robinson, 3 for Viscuso. Wiedenfeld trying to do all she can for New Hampshire with a total of 6 kills. So far we have not seen but 3 kills for Olhava after her performance earlier against Milwaukee. Patlovich with Wiedenfeld. Again, she's been the focal point. Smith on the set return to Johnson. McNulty over with Williams. Tansky got a piece. Smith gave way to Watton. McNulty lays out in slow-mo. And a little flick and swat from Hannah Lesiak. That goes out. Lindroth will sub in, replacing Robinson. Allie Lindroth played in 22 matches last year. Set career highs with 8 kills, 17 attacks, and a service ace against Rutgers last October the 25th. Welty. McNulty sets up Lesiak. Too much. And New Hampshire's down 2 at 12-10. Welty again. That season high, 3 service aces in the matchup last year. Williams. I was about to say, though, Welty has been one of the more consistent servers we've seen from New Hampshire so far today. And again, there's been some great service play from both of these programs, but there have also been, at least for New Hampshire, its share of serving errors. They've had 3 so far in this matchup, but that brings a total of 14 on the day, 14 free points off serves. Patlovich, that's Petke. Wiedenfeld, Patlovich, Wiedenfeld blocked. It lands at the feet, at the knees of Tansky. Walker with some serious ups. Comes from a very athletic background, daughter of former NBA All-Star, Chicago native Antoine Walker. Won an NCAA championship with Kentucky, an NBA championship with the Miami Heat, probably best known for his days with the Boston Celtics. Olhava back in, out goes Wiedenfeld. Tansky. Northwestern up 14-11. The infamous towel. That was a necessity, especially on the New Hampshire side of the net in their win against Milwaukee. Just the hustle, the sweat, diving across every which direction to make a play. Number of stoppages for the towel in that matchup. Michelle Lee back in, Northwestern up 15-11. And they've been the driver's seat throughout in this second set. It's only the 3rd match of the day, but we have to see anybody go up 2-0 yet. It's always become a best of 3. That's what Northwestern's hoping for here. Hannah Petke Ready to celebrate a birthday on September 2nd. The right side hitter, McNulty, with Walker, Patlovich, Olhava leaving her feet. Touched a Northwestern Wildcat, New Hampshire down a couple. Again, right now, New Hampshire with 4 attacking errors in this set. They've had 8 now through the first 2 sets. Lesiak. And up for New Hampshire was Sarah Shelton for the first time today. At Northwestern scores a point, but Sarah Shelton getting the opportunity to play after she played in 14 matches last year. Robinson will sub in for Northwestern. 14 matches, 18 sets. For Shelton last fall, she is from Ellsworth, Maine. One of the 5 New Hampshire seniors. One on that right side with Petke. McNulty to Robinson into the net. Right thought on the flight. Back in Watton, Kennedy Smith. Smith serving with Shelton back to the sideline. New Hampshire down 2. McNulty. Robinson off the block. Patlovich, Olhava. Olhava had a 10-block performance last year at Fairfield. That was most by a New Hampshire Wildcats in October of 2014. Uncommon to see a ridiculous total of blocks for Olhava. And with that latest, she has a block among the 3 now for New Hampshire in this match. Northwestern to the better of the play when it comes to rejections thus far. 16-15 though, Northwestern lead down to 1. We play on here in set number 2. A reminder that coming up at 7:30, approximately 7:30 Central Time, it will be the 4th and final match here at day 1 of the Panther Invitational. It will be over on ESPN+. Matchup between Milwaukee and South Dakota. The Coyotes, under their head coach, Leanne Williamson, was an outstanding athlete with Milwaukee. Her name all over the volleyball record book for the Milwaukee Panthers. We coached it against her alma mater. Both teams will be looking for victory number 1 of the young season. And then back at it tomorrow for more. Each team will have 1 match tomorrow, with New Hampshire taking on South Dakota at 12 noon Central Time. We'll be back here on the Black and Gold Network. And then Milwaukee will be taking on Northwestern at 3 p.m. Central Time, also on ESPN+. For broadcast information, for links to the broadcast, check out MKEPanthers.com and the Tournament Central page, MKEPanthers.com. See if one of these teams is able to leave here 3-0. It's a pretty good competition, although it's no secret that New Hampshire, at least on paper, the most experienced of the 4 teams here. Last year, the Virginia Tech Hokies left here 3-0. McNulty, that was Walker, return to sender, in this case Johnson. Walker, McNulty, Robinson asking for it back, and delivery. Yeah, last year Virginia Tech went 3-0. The year before that, host Milwaukee. 3-0 here at the Panther Invitational. Both teams, by the way, have 1 timeout left here in this, as you see on the scoreboard. This second set, Johnson, Patlovich, Olhava. That's off the rafters. It's still alive as it was, and it stayed on the Northwestern side of the netting. So it was a live ball and able to play it and score the point because of it. That was destined to be a New Hampshire point. Not to be. Right now, New Hampshire trying to argue why that wasn't a dead ball situation, but because a Northwestern player hit the ball in the air and it deflected off a beam here inside the Klatsche Center, it stayed on the Northwestern side of the net, so it's a live ball, versus had a New Hampshire player hit it and it hit a beam, would have been a dead ball point situation for Northwestern. That's in play. Plus the question is what it deflected off of. See if we can pick it up here. See, it was off there. You could see it was off of Lee and came flying down. Johnson was able to play it. It was off a beam versus, I believe, a basketball hoop that is up to the rafters as well. So it may also depend on what it deflects off of, but either way, it was a live ball. Northwestern able to make the most of it. Now they lead 19-15. Sarah Johnson with Smith, Patlovich, Olhava blocked. Tansky over with Watton. McNulty, Robinson by Tansky. Northwestern up 20-15. Right now they have New Hampshire trying to figure some things out. Have them scrambling. Patlovich and Watton. Look at the Northwestern hustle, but they will run out of luck. It's a four-hit violation. Right now, some more energy on that Northwestern side of the net after things kind of fizzled out in that first set. Olhava with Johnson, McNulty, out to Robinson. Got caught up on Wiedenfeld and Patlovich. 21-16 Northwestern. As Northwestern has scored 5 of the last 6 points. After New Hampshire was able to get back to within a 16-15 score. Patlovich, Wiedenfeld. Here's Johnson. With Williams back onto the floor, make it 22-16 Northwestern. And New Hampshire will take their final timeout. We'll take it with them. Down the stretch we go here in set number 2. And Northwestern trying to tie this match up at 1 set apiece. Day 1 of the 20th run into the Panther Invitational rolls on here inside the Cloutry Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Glad if you're along on the Black and Gold Network. Match 2 for both of these programs, both off to 1-0 starts. And right now it's Northwestern on top of New Hampshire 22-16 after New Hampshire won the first set 25-20. In this second set only, Danielle Williams has come through with 7 kills. She has 12 now for the match. Think about that. Her high was 9 last year against Minnesota. The sophomore from Chicago did not even play in the first match. She has come on, making the most of her opportunity with 12 kills, 1 error, 20 total attempts, a .550 hitting percentage. Looking for more. She'll get more. Off a New Hampshire Wildcat. Also Robinson with 8 kills already 20 assists for McNulty, who added 12 digs for the double-double. McNulty had the 49 assist, 15 dig, double-double in the first match. And now Jenny Weston back in for New Hampshire. But led by Wiedenfeld, 6 kills, followed by Olhava's 5. 17 assists for Patlovich. Coming over to Wiedenfeld, Weston, Johnson. On the set by McNulty. Over comes Williams, adding more. And if you're New Hampshire and you were watching some of that matchup between Northwestern and South Dakota, it's great you're trying to not only mentally prepare for Milwaukee, but also prepare for what you're about to see later on. And again, did not see Williams in that lineup during that matchup, but so all of a sudden she comes in as the unknown. And by being the unknown, she's quickly become known with 14 kills. as Northwestern takes this second set 25-16. This match now even at 1 set apiece, and like the previous 2 already on the day, now becomes the best of 3 here inside the Klatsche Center. Set 3 comes your way next. You're tuning in to coverage of the 20th running of the Panther Invitational on the Black and Gold Network. Two sets in, New Hampshire over Northwestern 25-20. Northwestern came back and knocked off New Hampshire in set 2, 25-16, even things up at set apiece here in this battle of the Wildcats. Take a look at some of the highlights from the first 2 sets, and Robinson a factor. See Robinson on the second effort, number 2 on the team right now with a total of 8 kills. For New Hampshire, though, trying to get Hava involved after a career performance in the first match, but then Robinson off the block, 1 of 6 so far. Northwestern had 6 blocks, 3 for New Hampshire. They had just 1 in that second set. The setup by McNulty, the kill by Cannon. Cannon with a couple of kills, but it has been Danielle Williams with a total of 14 after you actually not see a single second of action in the first matchup. But Northwestern impressive in that second set after New Hampshire looking like the experienced bunch, especially late in that first set. We're even at 1 set apiece. All important set 3 comes your way next on the Black and Gold Network. On to set number 3, even at 1 set apiece. New Hampshire taking the first set 25-20, and Northwestern came back, takes set number 2, 25-16. Again, Danielle Williams, the story for Northwestern. She has 14 kills, 9 in the second set alone in her previous high. 9 kills, limited to 17 matchups last year in her first year. We've seen Williams. We have not seen Ella Gerbach, who played quite a bit in that first matchup against South Dakota. But Northwestern leading from start to finish in that second set after we had 6 ties and 3 lead changes in set 1. So for both of these teams, they're in the same boat in their matchups earlier. It now becomes the best of 3. Both of these teams in their other matches were even at 1 set apiece through 2. After the 5-minute break, how do they respond? See Northwestern on the right side of the netting. Will serve up this third set, that with Kiara McNulty. Patlovich with Smith in that front, but on the block. The scramble, Tansky, McNulty out of that right side and coming across, Williams out of bounds. That's only the second attacking error in 23 swings now for the sophomore. Father played basketball at Xavier, a power forward. Danielle Williams' father also played for 10 different NBA teams from 1993 through 2008, including the Milwaukee Bucks in 94-95. That being Aaron Williams, probably best known for his days as a New Jersey Net. It's 2-0 New Hampshire. There is mop job number 2. A towel again for New Hampshire. Who knows what their record will be when all is said and done, but they will own the record for most stoppages in play for using the towel. That hustle. Again, working up a sweat here inside an air-conditioned Cloutchy Center. Smith out of play. That was off of Elysiak getting the start here in this third set. Elysiak prior to and made her season debut in set number 2. Patlovich, Robinson, McNulty. That was Williams, Tansky, and Petke. Robinson took out of the back, tracked down by Petke. Out of the back with Watton, but into the net. So a slow start has Northwestern, though, on the board down 3-1. Both teams with an attacking error early. Robinson, Patlovich. That's Smith, who was blocked. In front again, he had Lysiak. Got some help, though, from Viscuso, and then splitting the back row, Robinson and Johnson. 4-1 New Hampshire. See, that towel does the trick. Came from the different side. After the kill from Hannah Petke. Hopefully the new towel doing the court justice. But again, moisture on the court has been an issue. Not picking on New Hampshire, but it seems like they're the ones that have the issue. Didn't see it at all during the Northwestern South Dakota matchup, and really didn't see Milwaukee need a towel in any way, shape, or form. They just sweat more. 4-2 New Hampshire. Viscuso. Patlovich. That was off the hand of Lysiak. Another try for Petke. But a double hit here against New Hampshire. All of a sudden, Northwestern is down a point. Northwestern with back-to-back points. They're down at 4-1 after the 3-0 deficit. Viscuso. Patlovich. Off the left-hand, second try for Petke, and then Walker. Smith running it down. Tansky. McNulty. On the windup by Williams, backed up by Lindroth. That was Lisiak coming across. Smith and Petke. Off Smith. No chance there for Petke. Also with Patlovich, great hustle. Both putting the pedal to the metal, but coming up shy. 4-4 our score. One tie now. First since there were 6 ties back in set 1. Patlovich trying to send it back. Right now, New Hampshire with Abby Sullivan for the first time in that front row. We're seeing some different looks now at New Hampshire. Abby Sullivan, a freshman from Massachusetts. Middle blocker in high school, will be a middle blocker or a right side hitter for New Hampshire. Former conference player of the year on top of a number of other accolades that came her route during her high school days. 5-4 New Hampshire. Tansky. That was lifted over by Williams. She'll get back. Has the ball placed to Walker from McNulty. And there's times where Walker looks like she is jumping off a trampoline. Totally earlier in the day, her high prior had been 11 kills against UNC Wilmington last year, part of some of the early season non-conference tournaments in which, well, there's another towel stoppage in which Northwestern was involved with. Walker named the all-tournament teams at DePaul, an invite that Milwaukee was also part of. In fact, Milwaukee and Northwestern met each other last year in Chicago with the DePaul Invitational, but also Walker part of the VCU Invitational all-tournament team. Service ace there for Michelle Lee. Lee against South Dakota came through with 3 service aces tied for the team lead with Sarah Johnson. Northwestern with 5 service aces now in this match. Smith back to Johnson. McNulty to Walker. Inbound for Northwestern. Elevating her game right now is Alana Walker. I mentioned last year, highest hitting percentage by a first-year player in program history, hit .297. Out of the ups, but also very effective. Lisiak, Johnson, Lindroth, return made. Here the setter McNulty. Now Walker in front with Lisiak. That put Petke in a tough spot. 8-5 Northwestern. They have scored 4 straight. And Walker, you see McNulty. Big part of this with Lisiak. Lee with a long serve. Another change here for New Hampshire, seeing Molly Jerezek for the first time. Jerezek out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, a West De Pere Phantom, where she was a setter and All-State honorable mention in 2014. A 2-time second-team all-conference selection. And again, last year, played in 27 matches. And was second to the team in assists, was 1-2 in that setter role with Patlovich. Trying to change right now the New Hampshire fortune. Only down 2, though. Lisiak, dug out, but out. After Smith laid out. 9-6 New Hampshire. Back in is Robinson. Lindroth is out. The serve here for Hannah Lisiak. Jerezek looking to knock it back. Also a Tansky. New Hampshire stays within 2. Yeah, last year, Molly Jerezek, 5.09 for assists per set. Also added 1.56 digs per set at 4 double-doubles. Elevated her play even more so in America East Conference play. Out of the back with Watton. Northwestern now 10-7. There's Robinson, there's McNulty. That's going to be a nice 1-2 combo. Going forward, Ken Robinson only a sophomore, McNulty a first-year player. Again, she now handles the setting responsibility. Jerezik going back, and the setup for Olhava. So right now a breather for Patlovich. She's out after recording 18 assists. We have seen New Hampshire go a little bit deeper, which has included Shelton and Sullivan playing for the first time. Score the point for Viscuso. The junior from Arlington, Texas, gives Northwestern an 11-8 lead. A substitution will bring Danielle Williams back. We're going to continue her stellar play with 15 kills. She has nearly doubled her previous career high. Tough spot knocked back by Wiedenfeld, who goes into the net. Would have been tough either way with Robinson and Viscuso right there. Try to hit over 6'2", 6 foot, especially from that angle. McNulty. Jerezik over to Smith. Out of bounds. Boy, Northwestern right now, 3 straight, 4 of the last 5, 5 of the last 7, 8 of the last 11 points. And now New Hampshire will take their second challenge. Was it in? Was it out? Well, Coach Hershinger wants to know, and this will be her second of 3 allotted challenges throughout this matchup. Realizing right now she's got to find a way to stop the bleeding, stop the momentum. As Northwestern scored the last 3 points as it sits right now, and again you see what these NCAA challenge system rules are all about. Reviewable plays. Again, ball ruled in or out is what we're dealing with here. And the way this day has gone with this being match number 3, each challenge but one has been overturned. We'll see if that trend continues. But a number of changes already. And only South Dakota matchup that played a factor. In South Dakota coming back and taking the second set over Northwestern. It may have seemed like a minor detail at the time, but they went from being down 1 to up 1 with a challenge that eventually went and was changed to their favor, and they were able to use that momentum and it carried them through a second set match victory. And indeed, this will be changed. And Northwestern, to their credit, was able to play a comeback right thereafter and take sets 3 and 4 to knock off the Coyotes. But again, so they challenged the call. Did Coach Hershinger is now 2 for 2 in this match, having the call reversed. And so Northwestern's run is over. They're up 3 at 12 to 9. The all-important third set, even at 1 set apiece. So 1 challenge left for New Hampshire, 2 left for Northwestern. Pick it up one more time, and right there on the line. And they have ruled it in for New Hampshire. So score the point for Kennedy Smith, the kill. And Kennedy Smith, now the total of 5 kills. Very balanced for New Hampshire. 6 with kills. Right now a total of 4 of 5 or more. Nobody with more than 7, that being Olhava. Patlovich back into the New Hampshire lineup. McNulty to Robinson, off the block. Yeah, Smith set up. Smith with Abby Sullivan. 13-9 New Hampshire. Nia Robinson. Patlovich. It's Petke. McNulty slid across the floor and came inch or so away from pancaking that ball. Now it's Northwestern's turn to mop the floor. 13-10 Northwestern. New Hampshire right now hitting .095 in this set. They're finding ways to keep it close. Petke, McNulty, Johnson, Williams. Came up at Patlovich. Petke somehow was able to get that around Lisiak, who now winds up and finds Tansky. Smith off the block, backed up by Patlovich. Johnson, Williams. Patlovich will send it to the back. McNulty got enough of it for Johnson, and then Lisiak. Outside there with Watton. Mad dash to the front row of the end line seating. 13-11 Northwestern. Kennedy Smith out of the Woodlands in Texas. McNulty on the windup again with Williams. Johnson, McNulty. Saw Williams. This being Patlovich. That being Petke. New Hampshire down 1, 13-12. Timeout Northwestern. Even a one set apiece. It's set number 3. Match number 3 of the day. New Hampshire, Northwestern, a battle of the Wildcats on the Black and Gold Network. Northwestern's lead has dwindled down to 1. It's 13-12 here in set number 3. Even a one set apiece. One of these teams will improve to 2-0 to start the new season. Another will drop to 1-1. Going into the final day of competition here in Milwaukee tomorrow. McNulty, Williams out of the Northwestern timeout. McNulty, Lisiak, the block was ready. Petke and Solovit. (13-13). Tie number 3 here in set 3. There's also been one lead change. Again, Northwestern led it throughout in set 2. McNulty, Lisiak, Tansky, Patlovich, Petke, this time blocked by Lisiak. Block number 8 for the Northwestern Wildcats, their second in this 4th set. They have double up New Hampshire in the block statistic. Patlovich, Petke, tying things back up at 14. That was off of Kiara McNulty. McNulty, a setter and outside hitter as well. As a 3-year letter winner in high school. She went to the same high school in California as Tony Hawk, a skateboarder, actor. Shaun White, snowboarder, skateboarder, musician, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and also John Lynch, the current San Francisco 49ers GM and a defensive back who won a Super Bowl at one point with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 15-14 New Hampshire. Emily Tansky. Short serve, but Johnson lays out. Lesiak. Tied at 15. Turning off points as a substitution to be made that we'll see Michelle Lee come in to serve for Northwestern. Breather here for Danielle Williams, who has performed well. Can't say that enough. How well she has done after she stood and watched the entire first match Northwestern was involved in. Battle to net. Walker there. McNulty as well. Lee continues with Northwestern up 16-15. They credit an attack error against Molly Watton. McNulty. Lesiak. Over the left shoulder of Tansky. 17-15 Northwestern. They've only committed 3 attacking errors this whole set. 6 so far against New Hampshire. Lifted over by Watton. Lesiak. Now she leaves it short. We will see Jerezik sub back in. Break here for Patlovich. Has worked awfully hard throughout this day as the sophomore. Jerezik, who had a team high 34 services last year, 3rd best in the American East Conference. Only 1 serve during this opportunity. Northwestern gets set up to stay up by 2. Lesiak. Right to Smith. In front, the windup. As New Hampshire with Watton, Robinson, Tansky. Walker blocking Olhava. Jerezik had the setup. Walker ready. Told you earlier today that Walker at one point had 6 blocks in the 5-set win over Michigan. Back on November the 10th. A block here, it's 19-16 Northwestern. With Watton, Walker, Tansky, and Wheatonfeld finding the court. New Hampshire down a couple. Great battle here in set number 3. Welty back in, out goes Watton. McNulty. That was a tough touch. A double touch, in fact, against the new Northwestern setter. 19-18 Northwestern. Their lead down to 1. Lee with Lesiak. Robinson. Perfect swing. And Northwestern is up 20-18. Johnson. Over comes Jerezik. Smith off the block with Johnson. Here's Robinson. Off Tansky, nearing a beam, never touched. Robinson again, off the top tape. That's going to be a 4-hit violation. Again, watching Northwestern's lead down to 1. And Northwestern is going to challenge the last call. Feeling it was touched by a player from New Hampshire, but I don't think Coach Davis is going to win this one. At least from our vantage point, it looked pretty obvious that that one was off the top tape despite a couple of players jumping for New Hampshire. See if we can pick it up here. Well, I don't know, maybe from there. It's hard to tell. No question, a couple of players go out for New Hampshire. Did they ever make contact? Certainly leaning toward trying to make contact. Naked eye, it seemed obvious that there was no contact, but you watch that replay and eyes might be playing some tricks. So both teams now have used 2 of their 3 allotted challenges. That's tough. That's the same angle the officials are looking at. Not sure if the inline view is any better, but you certainly see at least 1, if not 2 players go up for New Hampshire and with their hands leaning and pushing out to try to deflect that ball. As mentioned with naked eye, and as it was ruled on the court, had deflected off the top tape for the forehand violation. So right now an attacking error against Robinson. And awaiting the call. It will, in fact, be a forehand violation against Northwestern, so the call stands. And an attacking error continues to be charged to Robinson. 20-19 Northwestern. Olhava. McNulty coming across. Viscuso picking a great time to resurface. Her 6th kill. She's number 3 on the team right now. There are 2 in double figures for kills with Williams at 15, Robinson with 10. Petke and Olhava each with 8 to lead New Hampshire. Tansky with another 20 digs. So Tansky with 48 and counting on the day. Robinson. Tansky over to Smith, and as she went to set it, a double hit. Final timeout, New Hampshire. 22-19 Northwestern. We were in set 3 on the Black and Gold Network. (22-19) Northwestern. If we all had that much energy. 3 matches in, 1 still to go. That little one just wants to be part of the action. There's been a lot of it here in this 3rd set. It's 3rd set now with 5 ties and 3 lead changes. And New Hampshire with an attacking error. Northwestern is up 23-19. In this set alone, there have been 4 kills for Lisiak, 3 for Walker, 2 for Viscuso, 2 for Robinson. New Hampshire's gotten 4 from Petke. 10 digs also from Tansky this 3rd set. McNulty. Robinson. McNulty. Back to Robinson. And Northwestern is serving for set number 3. Looks like right now New Hampshire, well, apparently they had one timeout left. Originally the board up here said only one. Just looked at the scorebook. Now they're out of timeouts. Northwestern has one remaining, so how many timeouts taken? Despite the competitiveness in the back and forth here in this third set, Northwestern, they've scored the last four. It's 24-19. They get ready to serve for the set. That little one. Having fun with the volleyball. Right now, Northwestern having a lot of fun with the volleyball as well here in this set. And not beating themselves. They have found ways to succeed with 3 blocks. They've had 5 errors compared to 8 for New Hampshire. And trying to end things right here, at least in this set, put themselves in a great spot to try to start 2-0. 2-0 again. Smith keeps hope alive for New Hampshire. I should say last year, Northwestern won their opener against South Florida, but then lost to LSU. Then came right back and would rattle off 9 straight wins. Wrapped up non-conference play with a loss against VCU. That's when things then went south in Big Ten play, winning 4 of 20 matches. New Hampshire is down 24-21. Not so fast now. Patlovich. McNulty to Williams. Petke. Robinson. Williams. Tansky. Patlovich. Smith off McNulty. Johnson plays it out to Robinson. Tansky gets knocked down. That's off Petke. Northwestern takes the set. They've won back-to-back. Up 2-1 in this best of 5. 25-21 the final. In a set that features 5 ties and 3 lead changes. More to come with set number 4 as we continue from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And coverage of the Panther Invitational on the Black and Gold Network. Northwestern up 2-1 over New Hampshire in this Battle of the Wildcats, match number 3 of the 20th run into the Panther Invitational. New Hampshire won the first set 25-20, but Northwestern coming back to win 25-16, 25-21, and hitting 194 right now are the Northwestern Wildcats. Danielle Williams has 15 kills, 12 for Nia Robinson, 33 assists for Kiara McNulty, also a couple of service aces for McNulty and Robinson. 18 digs for McNulty, 12 for Johnson, and then 1 block solo, 5 block assists for Walker, 9 blocks for Northwestern as a whole. New Hampshire hitting 161. They have gotten 8 kills from Petke, 8 for Olhava, 7 for Smith, 7 for Wiedenfeld, 25 assists for Patlovich. They've had 3 services from 3 different players, and then 23 digs for Emily Tansky, another 12 for Kennedy Smith. Tansky had a career high against Milwaukee at 28 digs, so that may be in jeopardy. It may have be on the verge of setting another career high in back-to-back matches here to start this new year. 4 blocks for New Hampshire, 2 block assists and a block solo for Anna Petke. Emma Patlovich will start things off here in set number 4 after a third set that saw 5 ties and 3 lead changes. We have now seen 11 ties and 6 lead changes in this matchup after Northwestern. That's, again, even with Northwestern leading from start to finish in set number 2. Off the Patlovich jump serve will stay with New Hampshire. Point here for Northwestern. We'll see Robinson, the 12 kills, the 2 service aces, the 3 digs. Part of her stat line so far for Northwestern. To Smith. Tough first touch into the scorer's table. And a 2-point lead for Northwestern. Again, Northwestern about 194, New Hampshire at 161 for an attack percentage so far. As New Hampshire brought Alexa Markman in, we saw her a little bit in the earlier matchup. She played a single set of 4 against Milwaukee. 3-0 Northwestern, and the serve continues for Nia Robinson. Patlovich with Smith. And net violation is going to be whistled here against Northwestern. We'll put New Hampshire on the board and we'll drop Kennedy Smith back. Right now, New Hampshire with Petke, Markman, Watton in front. Tansky in the back with Patlovich and Smith. Lisiak. Markman got a piece of it as did Petke. Patlovich and Watton. And New Hampshire's back to within 1. Many different pieces for both of these teams to work with. In the case of New Hampshire, a little more experience there for a team predicted to take second out of 7 in the America East. Northwestern, they've gone a little bit deeper than they did in their earlier matchup against South Dakota. Or at least they've gone with a couple of different faces in this matchup. A younger team trying to see exactly what they have and trying to replace 3 starters lost to go along with 4 letter winners. Viscuso. Right now Northwestern with a 4-2 lead. And a towel needed here for Molly Watton. Look at the America East, and can Albany the team to beat? It's a conference too loaded with talent. 20 players who earned all conference or all rookie team status last year are back, including 7 first-teamers. After against Stony Brook, number 4 seed will go on to win the tournament title, their first tournament championship, and the first number 4 seed in the tournament history to win the tournament title. Anna Petke off a Northwestern Wildcat. As Northwestern back to within 1 at 4-3. Whereas New Hampshire back to within that 4-3 score versus Northwestern. And now Northwestern will challenge for the third and final time. The three allotted challenges they have in this matchup. This will be the third utilized by Coach Davis. And so he is hoping that Northwestern will pick up a fifth point. We'll check it out one more time. They ruled that the pet key windup was tipped right there by a Northwestern player, or even right there, for instance, but it almost looks like that McNulty's got her hand up, her right hand up, half a second after the ball flew by. See from this angle, Petke, left hand, through Walker, Lesiak. I'm not sure one of those two players, you certainly won't see any change in the direction of the ball, make contact, and then McNulty, who's the last Northwestern player here to potentially make contact, I'm not sure she gets her hand up quick enough. It's probably the best view, same view the officials are looking at. You don't see the ball change direction. That's what I'm looking at right here. Petke, Walker. You don't even see her hands deflect back, though she made contact. And then right there, see, that's hard to tell. From the other angle, it looked like McNulty got her hand up late. From that angle, it looks like she almost made contact. That's what the officials have to go by. Was it in fact deflected? That's what the call was. And Northwestern is going to get the serve. They will get the point, so it never was deflected. And again, it looked like when you had Walker and company in front, ball never changed direction. Then, as I mentioned, maybe from the end line view, it's tough to tell, but from the sideline view, it didn't look like McNulty got her hand up quick enough as the last Northwestern player to potentially make contact. And so Northwestern will take a 5-2 lead. And again, it goes with what has been a reoccurring theme on this day. All but one challenge has been reversed. Patlovich over in front. Petke this time scores the point for New Hampshire. Petke with a team best 9 kills. Hitting at 160, has also added 3 blocks to her stat line. Contributed 3 out of the 4 that New Hampshire's recorded. Tansky. McNulty finding Lesiak. That back row wide open. Point here for Northwestern. It was tipped by a New Hampshire player. That back row was big gap between the back row players and the actual end line. Here's Michelle Lee. Patlovich, Petke. Use that angle a couple of times to her benefit. (6-4) Northwestern. Seeing Molly Jerezik back in, but with a service error. She now played in a couple of sets for New Hampshire. It's been her second set of a possible 4. Her first 2 sets of this young season. Lesiak. Northwestern up 7-4, right to Smith. Ohava out of bounds. What a difference a match has made, although they have still gone her direction. She's still been able to contribute some points. Not as many. And I said 4 attacking errors go against. Been a little bit tougher right now the way Northwestern has played her. Walker with McNulty, but the block deflects out. New Hampshire will bring Logan Welty back in. And out goes Molly Watton. McNulty with Robinson off of Tansky. Smith as Walker came up as did McNulty. Who will come up with the setup for Robinson. Off the New Hampshire block. Here Robinson, 13 kills now, second best on the team. Now, right now there are 3 players in the matchup that have 10+ kills each. Petke, the lone New Hampshire player, with 10. But then you have Williams with 16, Robinson with 13. Again, Williams' previous high for kills was 9 in the matchup last year, and the opportunity to double that total here. Haven't seen her lately, but she's been out there. We have not seen Ella Gerback at all in this matchup, where she, told you earlier, ended up playing a total of 4 sets in that match against South Dakota, and was number 3 on the team in kills. Well, speaking of Williams, she's now back in replacing Michelle Lee. Lee doing her job when called upon as one of the surge specialists. McNulty on the setup by Jarezic. Going outside. Right now, Petke has been a bright spot for New Hampshire, but New Hampshire with a different look again in bringing Delaney McKee into the lineup. McKee for the first time, a sophomore from Walnut Creek, California. Only 1 match, 1 set played all last season, and had a block against Sacramento State. Smith, Jarezic, over to McKee. That's Robinson, Tansky. Smith was off the antenna. No, it was off of Williams, out of bounds. New Hampshire's gone a little bit deeper in this matchup, as we told you. At least 14 have played so far, and a handful their first appearances of the season. Northwestern has gone about 10-11 deep. It's Williams to Tansky. Smith. That's going to get by Lisiak, but it's going to go out of bounds. So far in this 4th set, we have seen Northwestern, much like in set 2, they have been in the driver's seat from the beginning, now just trying to hang on as they lead 12-7. They've been able to build that lead up to 5, but again, they've had the lead from the beginning. Petke to Robinson. McNulty getting back to the ball, able to set up Williams. Tansky to Petke. McNulty, Lisiak, and in front for New Hampshire was Alexa Markman. She played 8 matches, 12 sets last year. Markman had a couple of blocks, 4 kills, and 4 service aces. This year serving as the 2018-19 Secretary of SAC, Student Athlete Advisory Committee at the University of New Hampshire. Kennedy Smith. McNulty hooking up with Viscuso by Smith. Make it 13-8 Northwestern on top of New Hampshire. Already up 2-1 after New Hampshire took the first set 25-20, but the Wildcats Northwestern have come back to take sets 2 and 3, 25-16 and 25-21. Viscuso. Patlovich will find Petke. Walker was ready, and Northwestern now up 6. Well, they've come out and they've been focused and trying to finish off New Hampshire. Talked in length already today about, younger teams learning how to close teams out when given the opportunity. Exactly what Northwestern's trying to do here. Against South Dakota, kind of the same thing where they had the opportunity to end 4 sets. Eventually did. A little more of an effort to finish off that 4th set. Now looking to do so again. Pretty consistent play from a number of different sources. That deflects off a beam in the rafter. Goes against the run of play for Northwestern. Back-to-back point for New Hampshire. They're back to within 4, 14-10. in front. Olhava makes it a 3-point deficit. Too easy there for the senior middle blocker. Timeout Northwestern. That lead down to 3 straight for New Hampshire. They're in a must-win scenario here in set number 4. And you're tuning in to coverage of the 20th running of the Panther Invitational on the Black and Gold Network. Last 3 points belong to New Hampshire. They're back to within 3 at 14-11. And now in a must-win scenario after Northwestern coming back from a 1-set deficit, takes sets 2 and 3. Emily Tansky, McNulty, Lesiak, into the block. There's yet to be a block recorded from either side yet in this 4th set. Tansky, Smith, off the block of Walker and Williams. And New Hampshire's back to within 2. 4 straight now for the New Hampshire Wildcats. McNulty tapping it back to Walker. Tansky was there. Olhava with a misstep but was able to recover. Williams, Smith, Petke. And now the Williams deflection, nice athleticism. Petke over to Johnson. Walker, Patlovich, Olhava. Lesiak off Tansky, Patlovich, Petke, left hand off the block. Walker again, battle of strength in front, and the point goes to Northwestern. Great battle there ends the 4-0 New Hampshire run. Northwestern leads 15-12. Walker scores the kill. Her 6th now of the set, of the matchup. After Walker's 2nd of the set. And now a service ace, which will be the 7th of the match for Northwestern. Their 2nd in this set. It belongs to Lee. That's her 2nd of this matchup, her 5th now of the season. We're talking right now 8 sets played for Lee. Olhava pushing it back to Johnson. Out to Lesiak. That gets by Tansky. Tansky, who quietly has recorded 30 digs, a new career best, surpassing her previous high just accomplished earlier today at 28 against Milwaukee. Lee and Northwestern with 3 straight points. Petke kept alive with McNulty. Over to Lesiak, off Tansky. Patlovich with Watton. Northwestern scoring the side out. It's 17-13. Jerezik will sub in. McKee back into the New Hampshire lineup as well. McNulty. Lesiak into the block, back up though by McNulty. Johnson. Lesiak into the net. That is the 2nd hitting error against Northwestern of this set, but 20th of the match. Now New Hampshire's again back to within 3. Just as it appears that Northwestern's about to pull away, not so fast. Walker going to reach back, does, but out of bounds. 17-15, Northwestern. with that latest point, New Hampshire on a 3-0 run. McNulty, Lisiak off, Tansky. The set goes to Watton. Battle in front, test of strength. Again, McNulty able to win that battle against Olhava. Seen some great battles up front on both ends. Robinson replacing Lindroff. Lisiak back to Smith. Watton back with Johnson. McNulty. Walker. Smith. Look out. Nearly taking a seat. (19-15) Northwestern. Lisiak. Out the setup by Olhava. New Hampshire just will not wave that white flag, and credit to the fight from this New Hampshire Wildcat bunch. Continuing to try to stay close and chip away. Now down 3 at 19-16. McNulty. Walker. Olhava makes it a 2-point deficit. 19-17 Northwestern. Things continue to tighten here inside the Klatsche Center in Milwaukee. Welty. McNulty. Walker. Walker again blocked. Smith got a piece of it. Johnson able to track it down. Robinson out of the back with Welty. And that's Smith. And that's long. 20-17 Northwestern. They will sub in Viscuso. Walker out now, getting ready to sub in for the first time. Ivy Whalen replacing the setter, McNulty. Whalen, a sophomore outside hitter making her season debut, played 9 matches last year, 5 matches were starts. She's from Catholic Memorial High School nearby. In Waukesha, although she's from Eagle, Wisconsin. Robinson, that return was made by Jerezik. Robinson. Jerezik going across the way for Smith, over the block in front with Whalen in that front row. Robinson winds up, that's off Smith, but we have a net violation first, which goes nonetheless against New Hampshire. Yeah, Whalen, 3-time state champion with the Catholic Memorial Crusaders in volleyball. Big part of the team's success, on top being a conference leader in kills and blocks for 3 consecutive years. They're choosing your pitcher sporting jersey number 6 for Northwestern. Hampshire with a timeout. So officially both teams have 1 timeout left. It is 21-17 Northwestern, 4 points away from closing out this matchup. And a reminder, it will start a little bit after the posted time of 7:30, but still to come the nightcap. Milwaukee, South Dakota. ESPN Plus to wrap up day 1 of the Panther Invitational. And these two teams will both next be in action tomorrow with New Hampshire against South Dakota at 12 noon. 12 p.m. Central here on the Black and Gold Network. And then the Northwestern Milwaukee matchup, meaning for a second consecutive year after they met at DePaul last year. 3 p.m. the approximate start time. 3 p.m. Central Time on ESPN Plus. And again, links for all the broadcast information can be found on the Tournament Central page on MKEPanthers.com. MKEPanthers.com. (21-17) Northwestern. The new team of the block in the 4th set. 11 digs for Tansky in this set. That was a big windup for Viscuso, but Tansky got a piece of it. Out of the back with Welty, and it's out of the reach of the sliding Lee. Olhava, as McNulty is back in, replacing Whalen. That will set up for McKee. McNulty, tough spot. Lift against Northwestern. All of a sudden it's 21-19. Northwestern by only a pair. Give the last couple of points to New Hampshire. They have scored 4 of the last 6. Looking to force a winner takes all up to 15, 5th set. Northwestern looking to call it a day and turn their attention to Milwaukee. And looking at a chance to leave in here 3-0 this weekend. With this very young roster, Robinson, they call it inbounds. I would venture to guess New Hampshire will challenge. They have 1 remaining. And they will. And I think they're going to win this challenge. So that is it. Both teams are out of challenges now. Every call in this match that's been challenged has been reversed. We'll see if that trend continues. But I'm pretty sure this one is going to benefit New Hampshire, at least from the naked eye. That one looked to be well out of bounds. Would love to see. And right now I think Coach Hershinger is trying to ask what the call was. Was it deflected or was it straight out of bounds call? Well, you see the official taking a look at the monitor. Again, he's looking at the same angles you at home have access to. I don't know, that's right there on the tape. Look at the official, the line judge. Looking, watching. That was a quick review. This one may stand. It will in fact stand. See how close that was? Boy, fishing a thankless job, and with the naked eye, you got to make a split-second decision. That's only the second upheld call of the day among the many challenges that we have had throughout the first 3 matches. We've seen 6 challenges in this match alone, and 5 of them reversed. I give Northwestern the 3-point lead and an attacking error against McKee. Both teams have 1 timeout left should they choose to use them. McNulty. Patlovich to Johnson. McNulty, big kill in front for Viscuso. Northwestern serving for the set and the match, and in fact, New Hampshire will take their final timeout. New Hampshire playing their first 10 matchups of the year. On the road, they only have 7 home matches all year. They'll be in Connecticut next weekend for the Dog Pound Challenge with UConn, Syracuse, Iowa. Northwestern, they head to Hamilton, New York next weekend for the Colgate Classic. Take on Princeton, Colgate, and Stephen F. Austin. Right now, Welsh Ryan Arena under renovation. Was last year. The Wildcats played all of their home matches at Evanston Township High School, minus 2 that were played at DePaul. That's where the women's basketball team play their home matchups as well. And this year, they will actually play their first 14 away from home, and then they will have their first home matchup on September 28th against Nebraska. But they'll be played at Evanston Township High School. They will play their first 6 home matches, and assuming everything is on schedule, they will move back into their actual home at Welsh Ryan Arena come November 9th against Penn State, with the opportunity to play there 4 times this season. So Northwestern looking to end things on this serve from McNulty. Smith, Patlovich, McNulty, Robinson, Wildcats. Northwestern take it. New Hampshire won the first set 25-20, but Northwestern comes back to win sets 2, 3, and 4, 25-16, 25-21, 25-19. As Northwestern receives 17 kills from Nia Robinson and a career best of 16 kills for Danielle Williams. 43 assists from McNulty to go along with 22 digs in her double-double performance. 16 digs as well for Sarah Johnson. New Hampshire got 11 kills from Petke, 11 from Smith, 11 from Olhava, 32 assists for Patlovich, and a career best of 35 digs for Emily Tansky. Northwestern now 2-0, New Hampshire to 1-1. And again, both these teams will be back in action come tomorrow to wrap up their participation here in the Panther Invitational. Day 1 will culminate in about 30 minutes from now. Our nightcap that features Milwaukee and South Dakota, that can be seen over on ESPN+. Looking right now at about a 7:40 start. A couple of teams looking for win number 1 in matchup number 2 is Milwaukee and South Dakota on ESPN+. For our entire crew, Matt Middle saying so long for the Clancy Center for now. Again, it's Northwestern over New Hampshire in this battle of the Wildcats. 3-1. You've been watching continuing coverage of Day 1 of the Panther Invitational on the Black and Gold Network.